Let's head over to Boulder with the Colorado spring game. Lots of commitments over the weekend, both transfer portal and high school. I like the transfer portal moves they made. We talked with Pete Nakos on this channel in a different video. You guys can go watch that. But Colorado also got busy at the high school level. Commitments over the weekend from Alex Graham out of IMG, linebacker Montrez Walker, tight end Corbin LaShurst. And, right now you can kind of feel it, Steve. Momentum is building in Colorado. So let's talk about a few of the top uncommitted prospects in attendance, and we'll start with blue chip running back Byron Lewis, who spent 4 days on campus. Now, we talked about Byron Lewis last week heading off of his FSU visit, where you really like the Noles' chances. Now, did this visit change that? What's your view of this recruitment now?
Josh, I want to talk about Byron, but real quick on those 3 commitments. Alex Graham, Montrez Walker, they've been national names in that cycle for a long time. We know that Colorado is very particular with who they recruit on the high school front, as they've been very transfer portal driven. Corbin LaShurst is a guy that they obviously absolutely covet. Heard as much from sources around the program. He's a two-way stud in the state that you live in Tennessee, at over 100 tackles, in addition to being a matchup nightmare at tight end. So they are fired up about that commitment in Boulder, and they would love to add Byron Lewis to that fold. The Fort Lauderdale American Heritage Blue Chipper was the first one on campus, spent 4 days there this week, said it was electric there. Devin Rispress has done a really good job for Colorado recruiting in the Southeast this cycle. Now, Florida State, Miami, Ohio State, some of the other top contenders. He's going to lock in his official visits publicly on May 1st. I think it's trending well for Colorado to get one of those visits, because he said they have real fans. Even in the rain, they came out and supported. They really believe in Coach Prime, he said, and I think he believes in Colorado too. And he just loves that coaching staff to support around Deion Sanders. He called them great recruiters as well.
All right, so offensive line recruiting has been a priority. Last year it was Jordan Seaton, and you love the fact that they landed Jordan Seaton, but you want to see 3 or 4 quality offensive linemen in a class as well, and they're starting to get them on campus. 5-star Michael Fasusi was there at the spring game, Micah DeBow, Zaire Addison. What did Colorado do this weekend in terms of making a move on some of these offensive linemen?
Well, DeBose, I feel like he was just there. I don't even know if he really left and went back to Alabama. His second visit was so soon after the first. So it's obvious that he's enjoying Colorado at this point in his process, where we've seen LSU kind of trend since he reopened his recruitment. Auburn is in there for sure. Alabama got a recent visit. Florida State. To name a couple of the others that he's high on, but it's obvious that he likes Colorado a lot. And the same thing goes with Addison. He was there twice this spring, and even though he doesn't have an official visit set up with Colorado right now, he's going to be at UCLA soon, and Florida, Miami, Penn State, some of the other schools that he's really looking at. Florida State is one that I thought has led at points this spring. He said it was electric in Boulder as well. It said it was impressive to see the coaching staff in action. They reiterated what a priority he is for them. And he said this visit just solidified his excitement for the direction that Colorado's going in. And then obviously they're taking their swing at 5-star Michael Fasusi. And even though they don't lead right now, they didn't lead at this point for Jordan Seaton either. Right. And so we'll see what happens as Michael Fasusi continues through his process. He was supposed to return to Oklahoma before getting to Colorado. That did not happen. Now, he's been to Oklahoma several times. There's been times where I felt like they've led. Texas is the RPM favorite. Certainly they're in a good spot. Took 3 visits to A&M this spring, so they're rising. And then Missouri, they have a lot of momentum on the trail too. But Colorado, with what they did with Jordan Seaton last cycle, how could you rule them out for Michael Fasusi this cycle?
Now, there's one more intriguing name that got me, and I want to talk to you about him. That's FSU edge commitment Javion Hilson. He already flipped once in his recruitment. He was a Bama commitment, flipped to FSU. Now he's been taking some more visits. How's it looking, though, with Hilson after his trip to Colorado?
Well, he enjoyed talking to Coach Prime and said it was a great visit. I have to hear more regarding their position. Alabama's the program I view as the biggest threat to flip him from Florida State, but he's looking at Florida, UCF, took a visit to Texas A&M this spring, also went out and saw Fran Brown in Syracuse. So he's made some rounds, and this was an opportunity to get out to Colorado. His phone lines are open, and so we'll see. Florida State, they're going to have to protect.
Well, you've made it to the end of today's video, but there's hundreds more videos on the On3 Recruits channel for you to check out. And also, while you're here, hit subscribe.